Hello, hello. I am Billy502, and this is going to be a Valorant video on a tier list that I had an idea for, which is going to be Valorant Agents purely based on their content they can make for YouTube. And this is just going to be just this is objective opinion, but like obviously on kind of on ish what I think agents are seen on like YouTube and like how cool they are in general and like that. So this is just going to be how I think each agent is for making videos on YouTube and like how this could also just help as a guideline for characters you want to pick up just for making YouTube content or like for doing stuff on like Twitch live stream stuff like that. So I have categorized different tiers. I have got like the content machines, like obviously really good, really easy content to make. There's like good content, which is like play style dependent, depending on how you play a character. There can be like decent content, which like you might need to be much more creative with the character to be able to make them more interesting for videos and stuff. There's like characters that would need like that might just be able just to fit a few videos or montages, like one-off videos or just joke videos or like characters in the background maybe that like aren't exactly highlights but can help you do certain things. And then there's just the boring characters that literally like I don't know how well would be able to make content at all. There's yeah, so let's get onto this. Just going from order from the list here. So we got Breach. Um, I haven't seen a lot of Breach content to be honest, and not a lot of people. There are people that play this character, and this character is pretty good. And I think Breach does have potential for becoming like a genuinely kind of hype character, though in a lot of cases this character is really annoying to play against. But for content as playing them, I'm gonna put them in good. Like if you play them well, you play them yeah, just playing them well, and Breach is also relatively good for combining with a lot of characters with other ults. And let's okay, yeah. That's the general opinion on Breach there. I think Brim is our next character is gonna have to go into maybe decent, maybe even a few videos because Brim doesn't have because Brim as a controller character mostly relies on relative defense to an extent by placing smokes down, supporting his team. And while he does have his stim and his mollies, stim definitely probably helped him get up a little bit. So I might push him up to decent content. Maybe I'll put him up here for now, but like yeah, I think Brim because his ult and his molly like are only for lineups, which is like relative content on its own for montages and stuff like that. It's like, and the stem is pretty good. I think this is the highest I would ever think Brim would be for content creation. Cypher is an interesting one because Cypher is not a very good character in general, which is the struggle Cypher has, which is probably why Cypher isn't going to be up here, maybe here. I would say, but Cypher is good, is relatively good or decent for content, and does need creativity with him. Because while Cypher can be played relatively boringly, just sitting on site doing nothing the whole time, with his traps and cages and camera, just guarding a site and just sitting there doing nothing, he can also obviously he can just with that set it is quite funny and interesting to see Cypher doing something with his stuff, even if that is mostly what he's just doing the whole time. We got Jet. This is gonna be yeah, I think Jet is probably up here for good content. Jet, like I personally don't really like Jet as a character that much because I think I've just been staled by Operator Jet a lot, and that's probably why. Maybe it depends what yeah. Probably put her up here for now. Might drop her lower later, depending how much. But Jet is good. She has a lot of good tricks. Her knives ult is really good for getting flashy kills, and her dash is good for like getting from one situation out away from another. And a lot of people like the operator stuff anyway. So yeah. Next we have Omen. Omen is easily up here in there. Omen, if you've seen a lot of YouTubers do this, Flex Ninja is probably one of the bigger ones that is this. But aggressive Omen, Omen doing all kinds of things, flashing people, teleporting behind them, that kind of thing. that there's no Omen is really good because even though he is a controller like Brimstone is, Omen has the tools to go just play aggressive like a duelist almost whenever he wants to at times by just blinding people and teleporting behind them. Next we have Phoenix. This is a hard one because again, Phoenix is a pretty bad character, so not a lot of people play him, and I'm probably gonna put him in decent maybe because Phoenix doesn't have a lot of stuff that is super creative or interesting to do. He can do some cool flashes and stuff, and it is cool to look at. Just Phoenix throwing flashes on the floor or the ceiling, or just like molly lineups and like walls and flashing through walls and doing stuff with his ultimate. And I guess Phoenix is also pretty funny for content, not for necessarily as playing as him, but also just bullying Phoenix when he's in his ult. When you see this Phoenix spot on the ground, and you just have to you see it there, and you just go for the knife on it. That I'm gonna put Phoenix up here just for not necessarily as playing as Phoenix to an extent, but it's also that extra part of it. Yeah, just of bullying Phoenix and that kind of stuff. We got Raze, and yeah, there's Raze is up here. Raze is easy content machine. If you've seen the probably tons of Raze mains, like Flights is like one of the bigger ones. Like Flights, Gumley, like those kind of YouTubers, satchel jumping across the entire map, doing triple jumps, satchel jumps, getting air shots, all kinds of whack stuff that Raze does. Raze is really good at doing stuff and really easy to an extent to get something stupid and funny with. Even just the ultimate is funny on its own to get stuff with. So that's an easy up here. Sage is hmm. Sage is an interesting one because Sage is really good because you've seen like Grimwall's and like Flo's Sage and like Grimwall stuff and like all that kind of things. It's this is Sage is really good at creating all kinds of weird stuff like that, even though it isn't her style. I think Sage is gonna be up here though, probably because there's so many different Sage things you can do like all the time. Like there's like always you're gonna be doing something with Sage. Like if you're gonna create a one way with her. One ways are really cool to look at, just like shooting people in the feet or like just shooting in weird spots like that, slowing people down, or like just sitting in spots that you wouldn't expect a person to be. That's just cool to see, and like that. Next we have Sova. Sova is up here. Sova is like you've seen average Jonas's stuff. Sona darts to reveal people in like chucking darts and weird plays. Shock dart kills. Those are a staple that Jonas is famous for, getting incredible shock dart kills and stuff like that. That's yeah. Sova's really good at that kind of thing, and Sova isn't an overtly incredibly difficult character to play. Really hard to master, obviously, but not too bad to play, especially as well. But yeah, Sova can get so many cool stuff, revealing people, just seeing the people being revealed, and then ulting them to kill them all. That's pretty good. We got Viper next, and Viper is a hard one. I think I'm gonna probably put her down here in decent because well Viper is like again a controller character. Is the problem with controllers is that they can be a little stale to play, maybe a little bit depending how you personally feel about playing controllers. But like also just Viper really only has like shotguns in the ultimate is like somewhat interesting, but her ultimate is pretty interesting, though it is a yeah. The ultimate is can make some for some tense situations, especially for clutch scenarios, which is probably what Viper is probably most hyped up for in certain aspects. And I guess her lineups are also interesting and cool to look at times, but they can be a little stale, especially if you've seen Viper do lineups multiple times over and over again, because that's like one of her best things she can do. So I'll probably put her here, not in the like few videos and stuff, because obviously YouTubers that play Viper would keep playing it. Though I think a few of them probably might switch off of her, like as like have a secondary with her. We got Reyna, and Reyna is instantly down here. Reyna can't do. The thing about Reyna is that I don't know. I wouldn't be that. Maybe not. I just don't. This is just a personal thing. Probably for a lot of more people, Reyna's probably gonna be here anyway, or probably higher. But Reyna doesn't have a super interesting kit by design. She literally just has like she can shoot people, kill them, take their health, or disappear, just dip away, just go somewhere else for a little bit. And she has a decent blind, which is alright, not super creative you can do with it. And then she has an ultimate which just enhances her previous two abilities, just the heal and the dismiss by just combining them. And like Reyna's really good for getting hype clips like in clutch scenarios, but that's like it. And I'm not interested in that kind of stuff because if I was interested in just a person winning a 1v5 with a by shooting them in the head, that's not really what I watch Valorant for to an extent. I guess that's what other people do. So like obviously if you put Reyna up here, I would probably like yeah, whatever, that makes sense. But I'm putting Reyna here for my sake because I can't watch I just don't find Reyna content interesting because it's not very good. For our next character, we got Killjoy. Killjoy is not going to make it super interesting good content. You're going to get a few videos and probably montages with Killjoy. You know what? I think no, I don't think there's going to be. I'm looking at the characters. It's probably not going to be. I'm put Reyna up here, and I'll probably just remove this completely. Yeah, because Reyna's going to get a few videos. That's fine. Reyna will do her thing. Get a few videos, montages, whatever. That's fine. Killjoy's in the same boat. There's not a lot Killjoy can do that is exciting. You got Killjoy lineups with Nano Swarm, which is cool, but like I made one video with Killjoy a while ago, and Killjoy is for me not a super fun character to play. She's really defensive and just sitting on side doing nothing most of the time, waiting for her stuff to go off and reacting to it. And it's like, yeah, Killjoy doesn't make a lot of great content to an extent. Sky is an interesting one because I don't see a lot of Sky content. I don't know if it's just Sky is that hard to play because I don't think she really is. Probably in the decent because Sky can do relatively interesting stuff, but I think it's just because how good her flash is, and that's mostly what Sky relies off of. So she probably goes in like decent here just because she doesn't have a lot to do. I guess because she has a heal, which removes one of her abilities, which could be used for making something more interesting, like making for purely off of content. That is, yeah. I mean, the dog is all right. The ultimate is fine. It's it's just more annoying to verse against, but yeah. And the flash is just good, but like, yeah, not a lot of visual stuff happening to make Sky super crazy for that. And then we got Yoru. This is easy. Yoru is going up here. And I mean, you see Yoru stuff all the time. What they do, they do so many. And as a Yoru main, I know myself that Yoru is great, especially if you know how to. Well, obviously, if you know how to play as the character, but just decoys, fooling people, deception, just watching people look the other way for even a second, just going, just like it's just a funny moment when you just watch someone get fooled by a thing and you kill them for it. It's funny every time. And the flashes also make it good because Yoros are now just finding like more and more, just finding more flashes to chuck in weird spots just to teleport behind them and just getting flashes to be better and better. And that's just really cool. Yeah, Yoru is easy up there, especially after his rework. Easy up there for content machines. For just easy content. I'm gonna put him above Sage. I'm gonna Sage over here. Yeah. And then we got Astra. No, Astra doesn't do anything. Astra is, apart from not being a great character anymore because Brim and Omen have become a little better than Astra now, Astra doesn't do anything interesting at all. Like, from the few videos you would make probably when she came out, and probably a few montages you might make now, I don't think Astra is going to do anything extremely exciting anymore to an extent, apart from being played. Yeah, Astra doesn't do anything that great. Um, We got KO. KO is going to hmm. I wanna I don't know, should I put it's either between these two. Because KO can I think KO's like decent. Because his flashes are cool and his molly is pretty decent. I think this is good because KO doesn't have because apart from his flash, because I'm looking at it from a it's like how I'm judging this basically is I'm looking at it through the different abilities, how they use them, and how they constantly keep using them over and over in different ways. KO doesn't have a lot of different ways to use his stuff. He has like knife and molly lineups, like knife lineups to reveal people and molly lineups to stop diffusers for post plant and like that. And his flash is cool for like pop flashes or like weird flashes on the ground that I've seen other people use before. But yeah, I don't know. KO needs a lot of creativity to be able to use well and interesting, but he isn't doing the same thing over and over again. So that's gonna be hard. Chamber is not that interesting. I mean, he's a cool character. Like obviously, I think all these characters in this game are really cool and well made. I just think Chamber for content, pure content, is not great because I mean, maybe actually no. I'll put Chamber up here because, and I'll probably just to even this out. Probably maybe I will think about it later. But yeah, um, yeah, because Chamber relies on because Chamber like unless you play really aggressive as Chamber, which he can do really well because like it's literally a joke where Chamber is just like half duelist anyway. He's just basically a duelist because he got his one of his nerf where he got his trap removed. But like his guns are just super strong. He's a really good sheriff, which is better than the normal sheriff, and the op, which is better than the normal op. And they're both really strong abilities and really good at just absolutely destroying and killing people when you're really good with them. So yeah, I think Chamber is decent, but though because like I think decent for that reason. But like apart from that, Chamber is mostly sitting on side with an op with his or one that he bought. Just sitting there waiting for them to peek and then shoots them once and then teleports away, like similar to what Jet did. That's probably why I'm just gonna put Jet. No, I'll keep Jet up here for now still. So I think Jet can still do good stuff. Is Jet's actually really cool, yeah. I might move one of these up later just to even it out, but yeah. We got Neon next, and Neon has to go up here. Probably bottom here, but like Neon, especially more recently, a lot of people have been finding out how to, especially also after her buff, a lot of different ways to slide in and out. And watching Neon movement is honestly really cool because Neon movement is honestly so sick. And like honestly, that's a thing I really like in this game is watching the way characters move around the map. That's why a lot of these characters, except for like Sova, are this high is because they have good movement utility to help them move around. Omen has teleport, Razor Satchel, like the decoy and ultimate and teleport, and his teleport, like Sage Walls, Jet updrafts and dashes, and then Neon with her like running and dashing, and her like kind of stuff, like able just to holding forward, just run and gun people and stuff like that. Neon is really good at just doing something stupid and funny and getting away with it like that. It's pretty good for the character. And then we got Fade, newest character, and I don't know, maybe in the decent, maybe in good. I think good. I'll put her in good, probably because like it depends on the playstyle, but also the combination with her stuff. Probably, especially with Yoru to an extent, because Yoru is just able to go in his ult and then exit behind people when Fade has altered like an entire site and like got them, and then Yoru just exits behind them with his ult, and then just kills all of them because they can't hear them because of Fade's ult. That's a combination, and like that works with other characters and like that. Fade though, like yeah, more support, but like probably yeah, and like lower ends of decent. But this looks relatively good. Okay, yeah, I've thought of over again. Yeah, no, I think this is good. Yeah, we got so I'll just go over it again at the end if you have just skipped to the end and want to know a general reason. Content machines, these are just really good at making content. Like just these two are just really good at teleporting behind you when you least expect it. Just like most of these like also these characters are just really good at utility movement and that kind of stuff. Sova is good at just revealing people and getting awesome trick shot stuff because that's always just fun to see watching new lineups and stuff like that. Breach, while I haven't seen a lot of, probably can do relatively good stuff if someone picks him up with a weird style like that and just does stuff with Breach because Breach is relatively good at holding forward to an extent with his flashes and his other utility. Fade is good for like support, and Phoenix is like decent for his okay utility, but also just the other funny stuff you can do to a Phoenix player, not necessarily as Phoenix. These ones are just they need a lot of work and like to make something interesting over and over again. Especially cuz like similar like low util kind of like boring kind of stuff like you got like general lineup stuff, lineups mostly with okay flashes like operating most of the time with just operating with like that can play aggressive at times. And then Sky, I just don't see a lot of Sky, not a lot to do with her. And then like you line up stuff, and then the few montages you would initially make with them, just not doing anything super interesting apart from maybe lineups and just sitting on side and getting a funny ultra kill maybe with the nano swarms and alarm bots because they were on the spike or something. Astra just doesn't do anything interesting at all. And and then Reyna just good for getting like for clutch situations, but apart from that, that's it. Reyna's only good in well not good, like for content is only good for clutch situations, and that's like the most interesting thing Reyna does. But yeah, I think that's mostly it for my opinion on these characters. Obviously I do like all these most of these characters to an extent. I do like playing as most of them, and they are fun to make videos on and whatever, but like I have a few favorites over others. But obviously, so I think that's it. So yeah, if you want to see more like tier list videos on weird stuff, because that's probably where I'm gonna go over weird stuff for Valorant or for other things as well. Leave a like on the video, guys, and I'll see you later.